Hello and welcome to MSHA University. You can find us at mshau.com, and we are your education and training resource for miners and mining contractors. Today we're going to talk about how to fill out an MSHA 5023 Certificate of Training. Now this is MSHA's official form for recording and certifying training for Part 46 surface miners and Part 48 underground miners. It's really important to do this properly because you want to keep compliant documentation and avoid citations and the associated costs. You'll find some really helpful information on this form and how to fill it out properly as well at mshau.com/5000-23, and going there is going to save you a lot of time and money as well. So let's get started. We're going to use the example of a new miner for Part 46, surface miner, and we'll say that they work at a surface sand and gravel mine. One of the first questions that a lot of people ask is, when do you fill out a 5023? Well, you can certainly fill out multiple forms throughout the training process to grant credit for specific subjects along the way. You can also fill out the form to grant credit for the entire training program when it's completed. And we'll talk about the difference between those two. One of the other things that's really important to understand is that MSHA allows for Part 46 to create your own record of training. And you do this by making sure that you create a document that has these 5 pieces of information that MSHA requires. And if you do, MSHA in Part 46 regulations say that they will consider this record of training approved by them if it has this information. Now, a lot of Part 46 mine operators and mining contractors still feel more comfortable with the 5023, which is your other option. Just keep in mind that that form, that 5023, was originally designed for Part 48 underground mines, so it doesn't have exactly the same lineup of information. But for Part 48, you have to use the 5023. The first thing that we suggest everybody do is just check in the upper left-hand corner, make sure that you have the latest version. Now this form has 8 sections, and we'll go through each one by one. The first one, very straightforward. Who is the person getting trained? Who is this person who is receiving the credit for the training on this document? Section 2 is about the type of training received. Now, in this specific set of terms, MSHA is looking for the training program that this document is meant to satisfy. Annual, refresher, new task, new miner, experienced miner, those are the names of training programs that have either specific requirements or a set of training subjects associated with them. We're using the new miner as an example. Another thing to keep in mind on this form, it's not really super intuitive, but the section below is specifically for new task training programs. So if you check new task, the expectation is you're going to, in the fields for date, task, and initials, have information on those specific tasks that we're being trained for and that this document is granting credit for. But again, in this case, we're just saying new miner. The location and the type of training, this again is very straightforward. We're talking about a surface sand and gravel mine, so it's a non-metal mine. The date the training was completed, section 4, we're going to talk about the 2 options that again are not super intuitive here. If you put the date here, that's in reference to the date that the training requirement was completed, and in this case they're talking about that in section 2, the training program. So if it's completed on that date, you can skip section 5, go right to section 6, and then complete the rest of the form to certify the training. Now if you check that box there that says check if not completed, that indicates that you are granting credit in process for subjects that are being trained on the way to completing, in this case, the new miner program. So this would be considered in process credit, and then you would go to section 5 and do just what we're doing now, giving credit for specific subjects. Section 6, you're going to record and certify with a signature of the responsible person. It's really important to understand that the responsible person is a person designated by the mine operator or the mining contractor, and that individual's name has to show up not just here, but they have to be designated in the training plan, which is a separate document, as the responsible person. So if MSHA shows up, they want to see the documentation, they want to see this certificate of training, they're going to look at this. They're also going to look at the training plan and make sure that those two names line up, that that's the same responsible person. The location of the training, very straightforward. The mine name, that 7-digit mine ID, the address, and then we're going to finish with the date and signature of the person trained. And this is actually, while it's an option, most people do that just to round out that this person who's being trained does certify themselves that they received the training. And that is how you fill out a 5023 certificate of training. Again, definitely go to mshau.com/5000-23 for more important information. We thank you so much for your time, and we hope this was helpful.